Welcome back to another episode, No Cap Sports, man. And I want to start this one off a little bit different, bro. I want to start this one off different. I need to hear from both of y'all. Nick, you know ball. You are always right. Vance, I want to hear you say it first, please.
Hell no.
Go ahead, just get up.
Come on, bro. you knew better, bro. You knew you was getting off.
How was I getting off, bro?
Bro,
I predicted the Super Bowl.
I didn't think the Eagles gonna have to play a 4-string quarterback. That's really all it was. I didn't predict that, bro. You was right about the Super Bowl. Congratulations, bro. Clap it up for Nick.
Thank you. That's all I want is my flowers, man. Because I'm right a lot of times. I just never get credit for it. And now now the whole world gets to see how often I'm right, bro.
Bro, you right.
Hold on. My joint cut out. My joint cut out. Welcome back to No Cap Sports. You feel what I'm saying?
Hey, know your role.
What? Well, bro, I'm not like you. I'm not limited to one role, big dog. I can play everything. I'm just on this joint, you feel what I'm saying, playing my role because it's the role you need me to play. But I'm multifaceted. You feel what I'm saying? So don't ever play me like that in my face, especially with a haircut.
You're right. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You've been wearing a lot of bright orange. I know that construction job paying you well, Mr. Mini Hats.
Wow, bro. Man, I seen that sniper game. It's crazy. Hater alert. But that's all right, bro. You was right because why?
Because I know ball.
Like you was right because one team was playing Chris McCaffrey quarterback. Like that's why you was right. Like I don't know, dog. It's like,
I mean, you also picked the Bengals to win. I'm just saying, bro.
I mean, like that wasn't a good game. Like that was.
I mean, it was a good game, but it was a good game. But yet again, who was right and who was wrong?
I mean, you was right by the look of the draw, bro.
No, exactly. It's only 2 games, bro.
By the look of the draw, is crazy, bro.
I mean, it was. But we can start off with the Eagles game, bro. Listen, the score was 7-7. Josh Johnson, this man is old enough to be our father, bro. He got to be like 30, 35, 30, damn near 40. Over here, he turns the ball over twice. They go up 21-7 at halftime. It was 7-7 with 2 minutes left. Like, come on, bro.
That is true, man.
I was just saying, Christian McCaffrey, like, when you think of, like, playoff football and what it takes to win playoff games, especially, in a cold environment, Philly, San Francisco, not so much, but Philadelphia, definitely more of it's, like, snow. In Buffalo, we've seen, like, that dude, I just seen Darius Slay talk his podcast, and that was a big compliment. He said he was the closest thing he's seen to Barry Sanders. And that's a all-pro corner telling you that. So just that lets you know the amount of, A, respect that they have in him, and B, the amount of ball he's doing. Like that first San Francisco's only score, that touchdown run, like he went Derrick Henry beast mode at like 5'10". Like it's crazy that he really did that. Made a guy miss right in the hole. Like he showcased almost everything on that play. We didn't catch the ball on that play, but he showcased everything as a runner that makes him who he is. So it was just a shame that, if he, like Brock Purdy, he's not been Superman. And then he could have just been continuing to have been Brock Purdy, and a guy like Christian McCaffrey, who's been on some bad teams, could have really got a chance to shine in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. Talking to Vance's point, how he said the game went from 7-7 to 21-7 right before halftime. I still think the game wasn't decided at that point. Because if you look at that game, bro, the 49ers got the ball first coming out of halftime. They didn't do anything with the ball, of course. Got Josh Johnson back there. But the game was kind of hanging in the balance for a minute for me. And that's kind of a scary sight if I'm an Eagles fan going into the Super Bowl, bro. Because, like I said, San Francisco got the ball first coming out of halftime. Didn't do anything with it. They punted. Eagles punted. They got the ball again, punted again. And then the Eagles scored, and that kind of set the tempo for the game. The Eagles didn't score to go up 28-7 until the end of the third quarter. So the whole third quarter, in my opinion, that game was pretty much hanging in the balance. Like, who's going to make a play? Who's going to do something to take over this game and to solidify it for the Eagles or to make a push for the 49ers? Of course, the Eagles did that. They scored. It's all history, 31-7 ball game. We saw some crazy shit with Chris McCaffrey trying to be a quarterback. It was just crazy. But I will say, that game versus the 49ers showed me that the Eagles have a lot of flaws, and they should be concerned going in the Super Bowl week.
I wouldn't a lot of flaws is a stretch. I think that the biggest flaw is that Jalen Hurts isn't 100%. And I think because he hasn't just looked like he's been able to go out there, make plays with you for his legs. Like even the first I mean, it was actually a really good throw, but like, just some of the things that he's been able to do with like his receivers and just the dynamic chunk plays he hasn't had a lot of during these last couple of games. And I think that you can attribute it to like explosiveness, which leads to injury. So I think the biggest hole is something that'll be easily corrected because you have 2 weeks to rehab. That's not a thing to where like you want to get better throwing the ball or reading coverages or whatever. Like he literally just he needs to heal his body. So I think that outside of that, I don't see a lot of holes in this team, honestly. Fans, how you feel, bro?
I mean, bro, the Eagles, they just the team like going back to last week, bro. Rookie contract, so you can pay all of the other spots, bro. They had like the perfect mix of just like guys on rookie contracts and veteran contracts. Jalen Hurts, he didn't have to be close to 100%, to be honest. When you just look at what he did, all he had to do was game manage. Basically, what Brock Purdy did for the past 2 months, that's all Jalen Hurts had to do yesterday. And it was just literally, it got flipped on him once Purdy got hurt. As if you said when it was 21-7, the game was definitely over. Pending a Jalen Hurts turnover, which nobody thought he was going to turn the ball over. But just looking back at it, bro, Hurts only had 121 passing yards, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not, I'm sorry, but he's not like out there, hell, if Brock Purdy would have been out there healthy for the whole time, it could have been said that like it then would have been like an even matchup.
It probably been like 14-14 or 14-6 to the half.
I'm saying like if you had 75% Jalen Hurts, are you taking like I would look at 100% Brock Purdy with the weapons, with everything that they got around, with how good he's been playing. I would say that that's even, in my opinion. How would y'all look at that?
I mean, if you take away the last 3 minutes of the first half, the game would have went. It probably would have been 14-7. Philly still would have scored that one touchdown. But that turnover right before halftime, it was over with. So, I mean, the way I see it, I mean, Philly, they just didn't mess up. I mean, you can't hate on them for that. Congratulations to them. Just like the Chiefs, they just didn't mess up. Pat Mahomes messed up, but he didn't have to pay.
No.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Hey, that
offset ad blend, like that was a thing to where it literally was set up like simulate on Madden type stuff, hop on the game like it was a wrap.
No,
now we're like, man, that dude is and like precariously close to like I want to say like career altering fumble because that would have been like it would have went from like secure. He still made it a lot more interesting than it needed to be. But like it definitely would have been like we would have had nobody but him to point to the blame of why they would have lost that game.
Yeah, because that fumble changed it from a two position game to a 1 position game.
Yeah,
in the grand scheme of things. And so I guess we can flip side. Let's talk about the Chiefs now. We see they beat Burrow. They exercise their demons, go from 0-3 against Joe Burrow to 1-3. Just a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Get a win in the column. But like I told y'all, I tried to tell y'all last week before the game because, like I said, I know ball. This Chiefs team is one of the better Chiefs teams that have come about. They do good controlling the ball. They've got an outstanding defense. Chris Jones got 2 sacks yesterday after not having a sack at all in the postseason. They turned it up at the right time. They held that Bengals offense to 20 points. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't hear Jamar Chase's name a whole lot that game. So what do y'all think about this?
So he was getting clamped. Jamar, you're saying like he got clamped down by the secondary. I was not looking at the Chiefs secondary like, hey, like throwing out.
I mean, they
corners.
They best secondary since Mahomes been there though, because usually
they got. I mean, no disrespect. I'm saying HBCU pride and all that, but they got rookies out there starting. So how you saying that?
I mean, this still they best.
Yeah, this is a really good unit, bro. L'Jarius Sneed went down early with a head injury. He didn't come back, but this is a secondary that's led by younger guys. Look at Trent McDuffie, 35. I can't remember his name right now. On the back end, you got Justin Reed and the other boy, and that's just a really good unit.
Come on, cuz you said 1.5 people named, and it's the best secondary. They like. Again, bro, I'm not trying
to hate. They had though.
They
had the Honey Badger. They'd have had the white dude that nobody liked.
But they was getting scored on. The Sorensen was trash.
Joe Burrow went 26 for 41, 270 yards, only threw 1 touchdown with 2 picks. You can't tell me that's not a great defensive performance, especially in the secondary. And to add on top of that, he got sacked 5 times.
He's out there though. Like, bro, at some point we have to.
Bro, you talking about the offensive line? What happened last week when they played Buffalo? Nothing.
They didn't have Chris Jones. Buffalo has nobody on there that puts their hand in there that can do anything remarkably close to what Chris Jones can do.
Yeah,
so
Chris, I give it to you. Chris Jones is an all-pro caliber player, but that Bills D line is not as bad as you're trying to make it seem.
Okay. So you're saying I'm obviously tripping. Who's the Eagles? So you're saying now that we can count on the Chiefs secondary to limit AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, based on what you're telling me.
I mean, the 49ers secondary did it, and they've got a similar force up front with Joey Bosa.
You said,
and to be honest, AJ Brown and Devontae didn't really get off that much. Devontae had that one big catch.
That wasn't a catch.
Exactly. That wasn't a catch in the first quarter that, in my opinion, kind of changed the tide of the game. And other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of action for those guys.
I mean, I'm just not.
Like you said, 152, 126 passing yards for Jalen Hurts.
That's what I'm saying. He's still hurt, though, too. So you got, again, Devontae Smith with his second year in the league.
His passing has never fallen off because of his injury. Let's point that out first. It's a left shoulder, not a right shoulder injury. His passing has not been affected by his injury.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you win, but I'm not gonna sit here and let you categorize the Chiefs secondary as a plus unit when you know Justin Reed and that boy. Like, you just like, bro, you can't.
I mean, the points can be taken away from that Eagles victory, bro. Like, that was fourth down when Devontae didn't catch the ball. So that's 7 points. They scored in that drive. Josh Johnson comes in the game. I don't know what he's doing, bro. He don't know. That's another 7 points right before halftime. So at that point, it's 17-7. If Hassan Reddick doesn't murder Brock Purdy the very first drive of the game, bro, literally, or if they would have just had those other two quarterbacks that got hurt earlier in the season, Jimmy G was supposed to be back for this game, but who knows what he's doing, bro. So literally, all they had to do was have a competent quarterback.
That's true.
Other game manager, bro. And Josh Johnson was supposed to do that. But he was because his name is Josh.
Hey, I'm not going to say there's not a correlation there, but you definitely hitting on something right now. So now let's look at the game itself. Philadelphia versus the Chiefs. We done recapped it, talk about the reasons for winning in the championship games. But now let's talk about this matchup in itself. First time in history, we got two black quarterbacks facing off, Pat Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts. I think that's definitely something that's really big for the sport, really big just for everything, you know what I'm saying? And so, but on the field, who has the advantage? Pat Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
I mean, did we just do this last week where we asked if somebody better than Patrick Mahomes? A lot of people thought that the other dude was, and they had a lot of reasons to think that he was, and then he showed them why he's.
Wait, who was that other dude? Just one more time. I think people forgot what you said.
What do you mean?
When you tried to say Josh Allen was the second best quarterback, and I vehemently disagree with you, and you held up the point that he plays like he's black even though he's at home, and we got a real black man going up in the Super Bowl.
I mean, I go out. Calling Mahomes a full black man, kind of a stretch. His daddy, full black man. Jackson, full black man? Question mark? I'm just saying, brother.
I'm just saying. You know what? Never mind, bro. Somebody in this group took Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts, but continue with your point about the two quarterbacks.
Bro. Like, okay, it's Black History Month. You're right. I shouldn't have did that. You're right. Again, we just sat here and talked last week and asked if another dude was better than Patrick Mahomes, and the Patrick Mahomes came out and literally showed us all that he's better. Like, he was a lot better than Joe Burrow on one leg, and then even like. I mean, to be fair, he did look a lot better than I would have expected him to look 8 days after a high ankle sprain. But he only showed, like, you could see him wincing or show the signs of injury probably once. But outside of that,
did
like,
you see the way he was walking the entire game?
Like he had boo boo in his hands. So that's how he was like trying to get the sign.
Walking like, everywhere he go, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So it was it would be really stupid of me to try to say that Jalen Hurts with his own injuries is better than Patrick Mahomes. When I would take Joe Burrow over Jalen Hurts probably too. And I thought that he was better than Patrick Mahomes, but I was willing to concede that Patrick Mahomes could have been better than him on one leg. So just logically, I would have to say Patrick Mahomes is Probably a big advantage, at least right now, because I mean, we just can't assume how big a difference Jalen Hurts is from the guy that only had 120 passing yards last game versus the guy that had 300.
I mean, that's
He had
fair.
100 piece with Valdez Scantling, who probably works out with Nick, so he's not. You know, he's not hitting on that for. I mean, it's kind of the same setup as last week that you was arguing. That we were both kind of arguing in the sense that like Jalen Hurts definitely I would say has more weapons than Patrick Mahomes at his disposal, but obviously it doesn't matter that much. You know what I'm saying he out here getting Pepsi Cola and running back, keep putting out 100-yard games, and Valdez Scanlon, who Aaron Rodgers couldn't make it work with, and when Aaron Rodgers was actually good, put up a little 100 piece. So he seemed to be able to make it work despite, not having. I mean, Kelsey's still out there, and he still has a good offensive line, which helps a lot. But he's still able to, you know what I'm saying, make it work, at least in the skill department wise. He doesn't have a lot of name brand targets. So I think that if Hurts looks a lot healthier, and his weapons perform as they should, I think that he could potentially have like the advantage. But I have to assume until we see it that Patrick Mahomes is going to go into that game more ill-equipped to win that Super Bowl.
I want to make a quick point, bro. You said something about Pat Mahomes not having weapons. And I made a comment saying Andy Reid was a top 5 coach, and y'all didn't want to hear it, bro. So let's flash back to last week for a second. Like you said, MVS goes for 100. Kadarius Toney get hurt first, second quarter. Mecole Hardman come back from injury, get hurt first, second quarter. Juju, supposedly the number 1 receiver, 1 catch, 7 yards. They still put up 326 passing yards and 2 touchdowns.
That sounds like Mahomes and not Andy Reid.
Oh, say it, Vance.
What you mean?
Say it, Vance.
The scheme to get these guys open was insane, bro. A lot of the MVS crossing routes, things like that.
Crossing route, bro. Nick, bro, come on, you know better. You a wide receiver, and you know better for saying a
I even pull a Tony Romo. I thought you were going to call him the whole N-word. I'm about to say, golly, man. Calm down, bro. But you going. I think I agree with your point.
Yeah, but I'm saying putting guys in position to
not you, though. No, you not. You don't keep going. Vance keep going. Vance keep going. Not you,
bro. They running simple routes, bro. They were just Pat Mahomes was just making plays, bro. Because that was the way he's on one leg. It was a crucial third down, and he steps up in the pocket and throws cross body to the other side of the field and connects on it, bro. Like, I mean, that's Pat Mahomes. You can say whatever you want about Andy Reid. Well, Andy Reid's a great coach for drafting. Maybe he might be the greatest drafter of all time. I'll give you that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but, like, come on, bro. He top 5 in drafting, but, like, the players make the plays. A lot of times it's just his players doing that.
That's true. But like I said, when you got non-name brand guys making big plays in big games, some of that got to go back to coaching, bro. Some of it. And that's kind of why I'm feeling the Chiefs in this game. I don't know why, but my heart them Chiefs going to win this game. I think Pat Mahomes the better quarterback. To go back to our original question, you look at his performance in the AFC Championship, 326 and 2 tutties, like I said. That's undeniable, bro. That's Jordan Flu game numbers, bro. Pat Mahomes, a high ankle game. All the young quarterbacks are going to be talking about that, bro.
Hold on, bro. Wipe your mouth, right? You got a little something. Calm down. Calm down. Just a tad bit, bro. Just a tad bit. But keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, bro. Like I said, I feel like this offense is equipped to face any challenge that they meet. Like, you look at that AFC Championship game, you know Pat Mahomes coming in with a high ankle sprain. A lot of on-time, on-target, from-the-pocket passes for Pat Mahomes. Yes, the spectacular plays still happened to Vance's point, but the majority of that game was won in the pocket by Pat Mahomes, just making the plays on schedule and on time, like I said. And I know people like to talk about this Philadelphia pass rush, a unit that got 70 sacks in the regular season, which is insane. Josh, you brought up a good point about the Chiefs line. I think that pass rush isn't going to be as big of a deal as it's been in the regular season in this game. And I'm liking Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, man. This offense is something special.
Who gets more sacks this game, the Chiefs or the Eagles?
Here's one. I'll say I'll throw a nugget in there for y'all. We answer. I stood it out on Twitter. Lane Johnson really dominated his matchup versus Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa had no sacks, no QB pressures, which is a big deal for him not even get close to the quarterback. And one of the things that the Chiefs like to do to generate pass rush is to kick Chris Jones out to right defensive end, which will be head up over Lane Johnson. So because he's. I mean, you got Frank Clark, you got Karlaftis, the rookie. I kind of like. I liked him a lot at Purdue actually, but he's their only like big time proven game pass rusher, and I don't. Their I guess main way of like artificially generating some pass rush pressure with him, like that's not like I don't think it's gonna work against Lane Johnson. So that's a big thing to watch out for.
All right, so who do you think is gonna get more sacks?
The Eagles. You know what I'm saying? You got Sweat, big time recruit out of high school. He had like 11 this year. Hargrave. Brandon Graham is like really old, but he like just knows how to play the game. Like you see some of that like on the like out some of the pursuit stuff and him holding the edge with not being the fastest. And Hassan Riddick, like a guy that converted from like stand up off ball linebacker, like he looks like freaking Micah Parsons now. So yeah, like you can't double. You only can double one guy on most plays. So they're gonna have, I was trying to say at least three. The way that what the call goes sit back there, like you said, I think the Chiefs do have a really good O line, but you're talking about like Riddick has been like I think we could damn near mark Riddick down for one, honestly, with the way he's been playing. Hargrave.
I will also say Riddick comes down to matchup because a lot of times with the Chiefs they were trusting the window dressing to take care of Hassan Riddick and slow him down with the jet motions, the play action fakes, all of those things, and they were leaving him one-on-one with tight ends, non-tackles, those kind of personnel. So is Hassan Riddick a dude? Yes. But hopefully the Chiefs can see what happened in the 49ers game and game plan against him better than
I mean, Travis Kelce not blocking anybody, bro. He's going to run a route. So like for a fact he's gonna have to see Orlando Brown at some point.
To Vance's point, that creates a lot of easy completions for Pat Mahomes. Because Travis Kelce will sit and block. Is he a real blocker? No, but he'll chip, hands on, 1-2, get out to the flat, get out to open grass. And that could be a problem for Philadelphia, especially when they like to send pressure and play those zone coverages behind it. So, but you can see what you were saying.
No, like we talk about like just the way that we watch football and people and football fans like to be entertained in general. You think about like high flying offenses. It's a lot of points being scored. Even you go back to like the Rams' greatest show in terms of Kurt Warner and them. But if you look at these two teams, obviously got two great black quarterbacks. But the trenches is really where my mind and from my perspective, it'll be the most exciting because you got so much. That's probably the most talented units between both squads. You're looking at the Chiefs unit; they got two All-Pro dudes on the interior. And you talk like we already talked about the Eagles enough with the four guys with 10 plus sacks and 70 sacks. Not only will it be a lot of talent, but I definitely think that'll be the determinant because, like you said, we've already we've seen Patrick Mahomes beat a team that he was less talented than already. We've already seen this episode, but obviously the Eagles are there because they're probably the most complete team in football right now. So you have this evenly weighted thing. You have these pretty evenly matched teams. So as a guy that played in the trenches, it's always exciting to see that not only is there a lot of talent, he's snapping in the trenches, but it seems to be like whichever side of the trenches will be able to impose his will be very determinant who's winning the game.
No, to your trenches point, you look at this Philadelphia team. This is a team that's built on the ground, heavy running attack, a three-headed attack. Really four-headed attack on the ground with Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, and Jalen Hurts, especially if he's healthy. So you get into that run game, that RPO game. That's where the Chiefs defense is going to be tested the most. I know we talked earlier about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, but on the ground, stopping those RPOs and all the extents of it, whether it be running the ball, the quick passes, the screen game, all of that. That's the key for the Chiefs if they want to win this game defensively. They got to shut all of that down, especially starting with the run game. You can take the run game away, the quick pass game off the run game. The Chiefs can find a lot of success, and the 49ers found some success with that early in the game. So, like I said, I think that's the biggest key for the Chiefs.
That is crazy because you talk about real Boston Richie has been around Boston for a long time. Boston has been around Philadelphia for a long time. I guess like you said, ideally, if Hurts is healthy, he's probably like the fourth guy you want running the ball for them. Like that's a hell of a fourth option, honestly. A proven playoff guy. So even we talk about just the duality of these both teams. But if you look at I think I saw on ESPN, if you look at some of these touchdown runs by the Eagles, their backs are coming in from like the 15-yard line untouched. Like they get like
Yeah.
a lot of movement,
Mhm.
especially in the interior. You know about Lane Johnson. You know about I don't know who the tackles
Kelsey.
are.
They pulled a center, bro. They pulled a center.
Exactly, because he's such an athlete. So, and he's still a guy that's not probably he's probably tipping the scales of 300 pounds, but he generates a lot of like torque and power on the inside zone. That stuff you see. So, like,
Just like how many teams in the NFL where you know at least 3 offensive linemen on a team, bro? It's not your team. Maybe like the Cowboys, and then
you used to be, but probably not now.
yeah, I mean they got Zach Martin and Tyron Smith. I mean, I don't know.
It's crazy. You say that in both of these teams. You got Thuney, Trey Smith. We both know, but I know Cade Humphrey, because those you got 2 interior All Pro guys. Very rare
Yeah,
for
that's
2
facts.
lines. But if you look at the Eagles, you got Lane Johnson. You got
Jason
Kelsey. They just had a guy.
Landon Dickerson.
Exactly. He got hurt. He got hurt the game, but he'll probably be back. So yeah, you literally just said how many teams can you name 3 offensive linemen, and the 2 that out of the probably small amount that you can name in the Super Bowl. So that just shows the importance of how important O-line is.
Yeah. So we done kind of talked about this game, offense, defense, but now I kind of want to flip the script. And before we get out of here, let's talk Eagles defense for a minute versus Chiefs offense, and then let's make our game picks. So, like we all know, this Chiefs offense has morphed from a big play offense to a more methodical, drive the football kind of offense. They got a running game with Pacheco, McKinnon now. Those are the 2 lead guys. So looking at the Chiefs offense, what they need to do to be successful against this fearsome Philly defense?
Get the ball out quick. A lot of screen, quick game, slants, a lot of check downs. It's going to be a lot of check downs. Pacheco and Kelsey, they both going to have at least 7 or 8 catches, bro, within the 10-yard mark, bro. Because if you hold the ball, they're going to get to you. We saw that in the San Fran game. I don't care who you are. You be Lamar Jackson, they going to get to you, bro. The way this Eagles defense has been going, it's been pretty crazy. Like, literally, I think they said it's the 2nd most sacks ever by a team. So that's literally one of the greatest defensive lines we've ever seen. And I mean, they have a couple of name brand guys, bro. Like a lot of name. Even the second unit is almost as good as the first unit.
Exactly.
You got Ndamukong Suh coming off the bench, bro. Reddick is your starter come off the edge. He was in Carolina. He was doing this in Carolina. It's just he wasn't getting the recognition. And so
it started in Arizona. That's what people don't know.
Yeah, bro. The pass rush is crazy, bro. So, I mean, can the Chiefs hold up? If they can't, I just hope that they go in the game thinking quick game. Because if they think they can just run a regular offense, they're going to find themselves not passing the 50-yard line to the second quarter, bro. Because the Eagles will hold that ball once they get it.
That's facts. And both these teams will. But what are you finna say, Josh?
No, like speaking of like the ball control piece, man. Like in my mind, in football, especially in playoff football, there's always 2 things that give you like a puncher's chance, essentially, to be in there. Essentially, even if there's a significant talent deficit, being able to run the ball behind a good offensive line, preferably a great running back is always good, but a good combination of a good running game, a good running back, and a good offensive line, like you're pretty set up for postseason success. And pass rush. Like that was really the only reason the Cowboys win the playoff. No offense, Vance, because you got D-Ray Lawrence, you got Parsons, probably the best player in football right now. You got some dude, or you got like, I'm saying, what you mean, huh?
I don't think Parsons is the best player in football, but continue.
I said it might be. Calm down. Pull your skirt down, bro. Come on, relax. So I'm saying, if you could generate pass rush, especially with only sending 4, like that just does so much damage to offense and the schemes that the kind of routes that they can run, and like you said, that internal clock. So for me, the important thing for the Chiefs to do is to establish that run game. I know they got McKinnon, but I see that he's like really more of their pass catcher guy. Like they really got to get downhill and get Pepsi Cola going in inside zone in between the tackles. Like he's a guy that he looks pretty big. I've seen him 3 times now. He probably looks about 6'6'1". He looks like he got some weight on him. He's like their in line back. But he has some moments where he can, get up out of there. I think they said he ran like a 4.39 at the combine. So that's a hell of a height, weight, speed combo to get in the 7th round. Amen. But, good for that brother for showing that when this time was called. So for me, because when that's kind of like the jab, essentially, that run game. Like you coming out, like it's hard. Stopping the run ain't sexy. It doesn't take that much to be successful. Transparency, like you can get 4 yards of pop in the run game and kind of be on schedule. So for me, like if the Chiefs can come out and establish a run game with a potential Pepsi Cola, like that'll do a lot to A, slow down that pass rush for the Eagles, and B, like give time, give Mahomes, some additional time off play action in the pass game, and not force them to be so one dimensional and then throw it to the guys that again nobody really knows.
Yeah. And so I guess my last little point before we get into our game picks is the first drive for each team is going to be important. The Eagles have the highest percentage of first down touchdowns in the league all season and in the playoffs. So if the Chiefs can find success, especially on that first drive in the first quarter, I think the Eagles could. I'm not going to say they are going to be in trouble for the game, but Eagles could find themselves in trouble and forcing themselves to play from behind, which is something I don't think this Eagles team is designed to do, especially if you look back in their past losses. You look in that Commanders game, the only game that Jalen Hurts lost as a starter, they got down early, had trouble fighting back because of that methodical, similar type offense they have. So now, let's get into the game picks, man. I guess
I could really do something dirty. I could really hedge my bets on some of these shows. I really pick one team I don't think is gonna win on here and pick some just keep going because it's a tough question. It's a tough ass question. I can't lie.
Yeah. I guess I'll go on and start it off since I got the crystal ball in front of me. I'm gonna go Chiefs, and I'm gonna say they win by 2 possessions.
Oh, you're tweaking.
Yeah, you are tweaking.
You're tweaking.
Hey, look, we're gonna save this, and if I'm right, we're gonna come back to it, and I better get my apology. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're not gonna get an apology.
And we're not talking about 2 field goals, neither. We talking
2 possessions.
At least 9
plus points. 9 plus points.
Nah, he's buddies about it there. Who you got, Vince?
Man, bro, it's really gonna come down to can the Chiefs get pressure, bro? And I think they can, but it's not gonna be enough, bro. And y'all know I hate the Eagles, bro. I hate them so much, bro. I don't. You know what? Out of hatred, bro, give me the Chiefs, bro. Give me.
That boy.
I played for the Chiefs when I was a kid, bro. Hey,
Last one of the year, y'all gonna let me be right by myself?
Bro,
y'all probably could honestly be right. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the planet by a wide range.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm not gonna take that away from you. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Vince.
No, you good, bro.
I'm saying, like, I'm not gonna take that away from y'all at all. But like for me, giving Hurts 2 weeks to heal, giving 2 of the most dynamic weapons on the outside of football, giving probably the best offensive line in the NFL, given, like I said, with the 2 biggest things in the playoffs, pass rush and running the ball, they're good at. Like, we'd have to see Hurts be worse than he was last week for them to win this game. And I think that that's like quite literally impossible, given that he's pretty good, he's black, and he'll have like ample time to heal. And he was the MVP essentially before he got hurt in the regular season. So like, I think that not that I don't think Mahomes is a all-time great. I just think that some of the stuff with the Chiefs and some of his greatness might be slightly overblown. And I just think that, I don't think they get ugly, but I think that even at 75%, it hurts, and this Eagles is clearly a better team than the show in the Super Bowl.
So since you picked them, let's say it's less than 2 minutes left, bro. Let's say it's 1:58 on the clock. You trust Jalen to get a touchdown? You think he's gonna get that touchdown if he needs it? They down 28-23. He needs it.
Yeah. He's black, and also he do stuff with it. Like he's the type of guy that like I'm gonna get it done. He may throw a duck that get complete for 12 yards. He may like fumble the ball his head for like it may not look pretty, but I trust Jalen Hurts to like get it done. Like he's a battle tested guy. Even going back, like he played high school football in Texas, in Houston, growing up. Like he's seen a lot of big games, so he's like it may not look pretty. So yeah, I trust him. Like I really do, even though he hasn't been there. Like I trust him as much as a guy that hasn't been there. I can trust a guy that hasn't been there. All
right, we got a minute left. Just the last predictions, bro. Who wins Super Bowl MVP?
If I do say so myself, Chris Jones Super Bowl MVP.
Okay, I was gonna say Riddick. I was gonna go defense too. I just think that he's been playing really well, and I think that somebody will get home for them. The interior for the offense for the Chiefs is actually a lot better than the tackles. I think that Orlando Brown used to be good, not that good now, and I really can't even name the right tackle. I think that with the way that Riddick's been playing, they have a field day. He'll get an MVP.
I think the short game is going to be crucial. I would say Travis Kelce, but that's too cliche. I'm going to go Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, Pensacola for MVP.
A little Tom Brady, James White action. I like it, bro. I like the pick. And so,
Tutties.
2 tutties too. So that's another episode of No Cap Sports. Make sure y'all tune in to the Super Bowl. Tune in to our social media during the Super Bowl because we're gonna be active. And with that, we out of here.